Do you want to get more customers? Do you want to get more patients? I know that kind of sounds like a commercial. It really isn't. What I want to discuss today is one of my favorite subjects, which is marketing. And if you've been a follower to the program at Bootstrap MD, we talk a lot about entrepreneurship. We focus a lot on online businesses, but today I want to discuss brick and mortar businesses, offline businesses, whether you're a doctor who is interested in starting up your own practice, a cash-based practice, you're not completely relying on insurance, or if you just want to start and getting more customers, let's say you've purchased a franchise, this is the episode for you. We're going to talk about 7 essential steps you need to know to supercharge your marketing and get a leg up on your competition. Let's discuss local marketing on this episode of Bootstrap MD. Hey guys, it's Dr. Mike Wu-Ming. Welcome to another edition of Bootstrap MD. As I mentioned at the top, I'm super excited to discuss this topic, marketing. I love marketing. And if this is your first time onto the podcast, welcome. This is the podcast for physician entrepreneurs. Now, we've talked a lot about entrepreneurship as it relates to online business, but entrepreneurship obviously comes in different shapes and sizes. And a number of you are opening up your own brick and mortar local physical businesses. A majority of you might be wanting to start up, let's say you're interested in aesthetics and you want to start up a medical spa. Some may want to start like a orthopedic practice, a LASIK practice. Others might want to do non-medical businesses. So I know some doctors own franchises, service-based franchises, car washes, lots of different ways. But what's the best way to go about it? As you know, you do need a strong online presence. That's how people find you. You need a strong mobile presence. And so the principles that I want to discuss to you is based upon my experience about marketing. You know, I have my own practice. I co-own multiple practices. I've worked with hundreds of practices in terms of their marketing as I owned a marketing company. But the principles can be applied to any type of local business. I think with the emphasis on service-based businesses. So let's get into it. Here are 7 essential steps you need to know to supercharge your marketing and have a dominant local business that blows away the competition. Number 1, build a functional, incredibly awesome website. Okay, right. That's easier said than done. But what I want to emphasize is not only have a functional website, but have something where you can easily control. So here's what I'm talking about. There is this trend with a lot of these marketing companies, these big marketing companies with millions of dollars behind their back, where they essentially rent their websites to doctors, to often naive doctors, if I'm okay to say that. And so if you want to continue with this website, guess what? You're going to be paying another bill every single month to have that website being maintained. And if you decide you don't want to do it, you know, the first 2 years of any business is going to be critical. You know, every payment counts. Guess what? They're going to own your website. They most likely will own your domain name, and then you're back to square one. The other side of it is some business owners say, well, you know, I want to maintain my costs. I'm going to go with somebody cheap, and they'll find like a website for like $100 or $50 or whatever. But the problem is they have a website. They're selling you a website. And then if you want to make a simple change to that website, guess what? That's another cost. And the important thing to know, guys, is a website is not going to be static. If you want to be ranked on the search engines, Google, the biggest kahuna out of all of them, what is Google looking for? They're looking for new, recent, relevant content. You're always going to be wanting to add new content, which is another one of the principles that I'm going to discuss today. And let's say you're not even having to make new content. Let's say you need to change your hours, or you're going to be adding a new employee, or you're going to be adding a new service. Guess what? You use that cheapo website, the web developer is going to charge you for every single change. So what's the solution? Either one, you're going to learn how to do it yourself. There are a lot of very simple websites that have really powerful features like Wix.com, Squarespace, Webflow.com, that you can use yourself, or you have someone in your team who has those web skills. Or if you want to go even fancier, you can hire a web developer who you can negotiate with, who you're going to give some type of maintenance fee to, that you want to have it up front so you can make these simple changes. I think the best way is to have someone on your team who has web skills. Right now, a lot of this stuff is really easy to use, but that's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. Number 2 is be consistent with the NAP. Now, I'm not referring to your sleeping schedules. What I'm referring to is NAP, which stands for name, address, phone number. And this is a part of information that is part of what's known as schema data, kind of beyond the scope of this call. But basically what schema is, it's a series of data that the search engines read to make sure that it has accurate and reliable information, and that can be tagged onto specific websites. So what am I talking about here in terms of NAP? You want to make sure that what you're calling the name of your clinic, you're listing your address and phone number, has to be consistent. So as an example, let's say you own Salt Lake City Medical Spa. When you're going to be listing it on your website, you want to make sure that it's consistent on all of different websites or different landing pages, or on your Facebook page, your Twitter. It all has to be consistent. So you're not going to be calling it SLC Med Spa or Salt Lake City Med Spa. If you're going to be calling your business Salt Lake City Medical Spa, that has to be consistent on all of the websites. Same thing too with your address. Let's say you're on 123 Main Street, Suite A. You want to make sure that you're either going to spell it Suite, S-U-I-T-E, or S-T-E-A, or S-T-E period A. You want to make sure that whatever way that you're going to be listing your address, just make sure that you're consistent, and every one of you, your employees, who's reading your marketing, are all doing it the consistent way. Because if you don't, it'll definitely confuse Google, and it'll definitely hurt you on your rankings on the search engines. Number 3, claim your Google My Business page. Several years ago, Google gave us a gift and allowed any business to set up a business profile where not only is it just a business listing, you can add video, you can add new content, new pictures, whatever you want, and you can easily find it. It's the Google My Business listing is, let's say you're looking up a business, and it's generally on the right-hand side. We're listing hours, how popular, when's the most popular times, etc. And it's amazing that some people don't claim it, because it's going to really help you stand out. And it's important that you post on a regular basis with Google My Business. We've seen it, and we have tracked, and we've gotten customers from just managing that page. So if you're a new business and you've just got that address, or you've just got that phone number, make sure you sign up for Google My Business. There does take some time with the verification to make sure that, yes, you are the business owner. So you want to make sure that you have time for that.
Remember when you could practice medicine on your own terms? What if you could take control of your physician career, make more money while working smarter, not harder? Pick up your copy of The Positioned Physician. Earn more, work smart, and love medicine again. Now updated for 2021, The Positioned Physician details one doctor's journey from burnt-out employee to successful entrepreneur. Whether you are in residency, in mid-career, or close to retirement, after reading The Positioned Physician, you'll gain the knowledge that can strategically impact your doctor life. The Positioned Physician, now available on Amazon Kindle and paperback.
Number 4, claim your Yelp page. Now, I know what you're saying. I know some doctors I don't want to be on Yelp. I don't want anybody to find me on Yelp, most likely because they've had a bad review. That's probably the worst thing that you can do, because what's going to happen is, like it or not, a Yelp page will be involved in your business. Someone else is going to create it, and then they can say whatever they want, and it's going to leave unchecked. So you want to make sure that you have a strong presence on Yelp. And again, it's something where you can add pictures, you can add content about your services, list your hours, etc., and you can respond to bad or negative reviews. We've benefited. Just to give you an example, is when you're in business, you're going to get a bad review. Obviously, you're going to do everything you can to minimize it. But when you are, and this is kind of an aside, when you're responding to a bad review, it's not necessarily dedicated to answering that question of the bad review. It's going to be how people are going to see how you responded to that bad review. And we had a 1-star review. We thought it was unfair. We responded appropriately. And I actually had a new patient came in and says, I liked it because of the way you responded to that review. So Yelp also has paid services. I'm not necessarily agreeing that you need to start that right away, but it's definitely something that you need to have. I feel strongly that you need to make sure that you claim. So speaking about reviews, number 5 is make sure that you have a review system for your business. So what do I mean by review system? One of the 2 most important things that you can have in a business is visibility online, visibility in your community. And number 2 is your reputation. And the more reviews that you can have, the more positive, excellent reviews that you have, obviously you're going to attract more business. So we just talked about Yelp. Looking at Yelp. When I look at for a restaurant, one of the first things I do is I want to see what their Yelp reviews are. And lots of 5 stars, I'm probably going to choose that over a 1-star or 2-star reviews. And in businesses that we frequent, when I take my golden retriever to the dog groomer, what's the first thing that I get after my visit? I get a text, how did we do? Could you post a review on Yelp and Google? Or I've taken my car to the car mechanic and sometimes I get a personal phone call. Hey, thank you. And they would send me a link to a website that I can go to and I can post a review. So it's important that you have reviews posted. The 2 most important are Yelp and Google that you want to have. And you can either do this manually when you make sure that your employees contact them, or there are systems that are out there. Nice Job, 5-star review, 5 stars, I believe it's called. I'm not promoting one particular one, but there are things that they make it a lot easier for you. They're pretty inexpensive, and they'll send a text out to the customer that you just saw, and then post reviews and or give a link that you can easily post reviews to Yelp and Google. Obviously, there's things that you don't want to do. You don't want to incentivize reviews. It's probably a topic for another call, but reviews, your reputation is muy importante. Number 6, claim all relevant social media profile pages. So in addition to your website, you also, of course, want to have a very strong social media presence. So, and the social media pages basically support your website. So not only do you need a website, you need to capture your page for Facebook, for Twitter, for Instagram, a YouTube page, anything that is relevant in your industry. And the best way to find out is see what your competitors are doing. So, for example, if you're in the dermatology space, having a strong Instagram page is something that you're going to want to have. But when you're first starting out, let's say you're launching, you want to make sure that all of these profile pages are claimed, at least 30 of these type of pages. So I've claimed my Foursquare, I've claimed LinkedIn, just make sure because no one else can have them. Now, when you're claiming all these 30 plus profiles, it's probably something, to be honest, can be pretty monotonous. You can hire somebody on Fiverr.com to do this for you. Again, you're not going to be posting on every single one. You just want to make sure that you have it. And then what that'll do is if people are searching for your name of your business, what they'll find is not your competitors, but they'll find you as well as all of your different social media profile pages. And that's really going to help you out. And then finally, number 7, you want someone to do all the stuff that I just talked about. I talk about it in my book, The Positioned Physician, is I want to brand you as the CEO, someone who is overlying all these things. The last thing you want to do, and I see this all the time, is because they want to save money, they're going to be doing this. This is certainly not stuff that you want to do unless you love it. If you love doing social media, then more power to you. Identify a point person in your clinic. However, for the majority of this is what I would recommend. Because what they're going to be doing is posting content. What's going to help you, your business is what we talked about. One of the 2 components is visibility. And visibility on the search engines and on the social media sites is relevant content that is going to be important to your customers or your soon-to-be customers. So we're not only talking about posting articles, we're talking about creating videos. I have an iPad dedicated to the office where they're going to be taking videos or photos, and then that is going to be sent to our social media person. If you're first launching, you should have at least 3 months of content before you even open the doors, and that's just going to help you out. I encourage you, other tricks that I can consider is, plan this out. Plan what you're doing next quarter. That's what we do. So and for like each month, we have a different theme. Let's say December, we did skincare. January, we did weight loss. February, it'll be something else. Or we're doing Valentine's Day. So just have it be consistent. This isn't something that, you can just do one time. Moving forward, like it or not, what it is in 2021 and beyond, it's about having that visibility. You get more visibility, you get more reviews, you're going to get more customers, you're going to get more patients. So those are my 7 essential steps to help ensure local doctor business success. I do want to say one thing about measuring success. Sometimes when I work with doctors, they say, I want to make $100,000 in the first month, or that's my goal that I want to do. Obviously, that's a goal that is achievable, that you can strive for, but it doesn't really tell you the direction of how to get there. And I find a much easier way is to measure on things that you can actually control. So what can I control? I can control how many videos I make. I can control at least setting up the process on how many reviews I make. So I feel a much more attainable goal to make is I want to create 5 or 10 5-minute videos that I'll be uploading onto YouTube that showcase my clinic. Or I'm going to get 10 reviews by implementing a system that will be posted onto Yelp and to Google. Those are goals that you can measure and something that will help you attain success. Because I feel if you just give some monetary goal without any direction, you're going to be disappointed. So I hope you like those 7 steps. Hope that helps you in your journey. As you know, guys, it's not about looking back at what you could have done or what you could have done better or just crying about things that didn't happen. That's in the past. The only way that you can ensure your success is to never give up and to keep moving forward. Hey, Dr. Mike Lumeng with Bootstrap MD. Thanks for listening to the program. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I encourage you to go and please leave and rate or review this podcast to wherever you're listening to it. It really helps me out, and it really helps me spread the benefits of physician entrepreneurship. Really appreciate it, and thanks again for listening.